we've had a very exciting day today, focusing on converting waste management from a headache that many people see it as into an opportunity, and to look at ways in which we can, through a partnership between the national government, the state government, the municipal corporate, and the private sector, both in India, and we've partnered with the European Union as well, who are very keen to work with India and the Indian government to ensure that there are synergies between the various different arms of government and the private sector to make waste management something that we can look to the future. And in the morning I talked about we've all been given a broomstick by the Prime Minister. Now it's time also to have a yardstick to measure our progress as well. So a lot of the technical discussions have been going into the details of this, and we have a lot of experts within the room, not only from India but from abroad. We've had 20 countries from across the world participating in the deliberations, as well as in social media as well. And the Honorable Minister for the Environment, Mr. Javadekar, was here in the morning, who gave a very good and elaborate idea of the roadmap.
Okay.
So you're here now for the final session.
So the rules of the session will be the same. We will make this into a question-answer session, Mr. Minister, because we want you to hear from the audience and expand on all that has been happening. But Manoj, the first question goes to you to set the tone of what will follow now. Please go ahead.
So Nitinji, you're regarded as an action man,
yes,
a dynamic leader, a man that goes ahead and gets things done. But there seems to be an impression that the government in some departments or in some areas is either going slow, or there's some, if you don't mind me the phrase, roadblocks. Are there any roadblocks? Are you seeing, where do you see the problems?
Actually, frankly speaking, the government has now have appropriate policies, and I feel that we will get the results. But you have to wait for some time. As far as this waste management is concerned, what my feeling is, the government is facing the problem of poverty, unemployment. And I always have a philosophy that conversion of waste into wealth is the vision. Conversion of knowledge as a science and technology into vision is future. At the same time, conversion of waste into wealth. And I have experienced already in my own life in Nagpur. Our municipal corporation is now selling the water, sewage water, to Maharashtra government electricity generation company with 18 crore rupees per year we are getting from it. And that was my dream project. But now after going to Sweden in Stockholm, I just was seeing the project where they can get from that water, get methane. They can, from methane they get bio-CNG and sulfur and CO2. And so I come to Nagpur and we decided to now to make bio-CNG from that water. So within 6 months now, next 6 months, we will have 100 buses, and that buses will be run on bio-CNG, biodiesel and ethanol. It's totally pollution free. No pollution of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. So the government is already taking the decision. Now we are working on electric buses. We want to give highest priority for electricity, for electric car, electric buses, then trolley operated trolley buses on electric, and we are also making new schemes by which we can be, we are going to transfer our all maximum traffic on electric. So these are the policy decisions we have already taken. It will take some time. And I will also tell you one of the good examples that already our government has taken a decision in my department. There is a waste material available named as iron slag. In Australia, one of the Indian engineer, he made the experiment on it, and on that basis they are constructing already roads, airstrips. The first time my department has now with a notification, we are using this iron slag, and crores of ton of iron slag is available in Jamshedpur, everywhere when iron ore is there. And now it will be a great thing, because the problem is that lot of people they don't know. The slag cement, 80% of slag is added in cement. So we have already booked the cement of 85 lakh ton, and out of which the cost of the cement is 120 rupees per bag, 130 and 140 without tax and without transport. And there they are using, somewhere it is the flash is using, adding into cement, It is approved, there is no problem. Somewhere the iron slag is using, and because of that cement, we reduce the cost of the concrete road. Now the fact is that because of this cement, the concrete roads are economically viable compared with the bitumen roads, the import substitute. So these are the experiments this government.
And perhaps they don't also melt in when it is very
yes,
high
yes,
heat.
yes, yes.
In Delhi today, we are seeing some of the roads which are bitumen topped are melting because temperatures have again touched around 42 degrees today. But Mr. Minister, as a follow-up to what Manoj just asked you, give us a broad sense, if you can, at this stage, after 1 year plus of the government that has happened, and I'm talking about your other vast responsibilities, not just road construction, for which you have set a very ambitious target of 30 kilometers per day going forward. Give us a sense of where we stand on Clean India very broadly, Swachh Bharat, because the Prime Minister himself, your entire government, all of you are personally and seriously committed to that, and 1.2 billion people generating or throwing away 3 to 4 pieces of waste every day translates into 3-4 billion pieces. And in the morning session, the issue was how do our municipalities, how do our panchayats and district authorities reach a stage where they can manage this huge quantity? Because I think intent is clear, you yourself are clear, there is money available, but it doesn't seem to be happening.
Now, many corporations are already making all these experiments. What my feeling is, as far as the Clean India is concerned, it is a very successful campaign.
But is it only a campaign? I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, I'm not.
People want to ask that, has it gone beyond a campaign?
No. I'm telling you frankly. I will admit that whatever the expectation we have, there may be some gap. But everywhere in the village, in the small city, the spontaneous response from the society, one of the achievement of this campaign is there is a lot of awareness, first time in Indian society, about the cleanness. Now, this is really a great thing, but I admit that it will take some time. As far as the target is concerned, it will take some time. But just I am telling you now. Now, what my feeling is, if you can give a appropriate technology by which whatever the waste it can convert into wealth, you don't need any campaign for that, because the economic viability is there. Now, I am doing one experiment in my area. After cutting hairs, the Mahatma Gandhi Research Science Institute in Wardha, they were making an experiment that from hairs, they make amino acid. Amino acid, it's very important in agriculture. So after that I was trying, and I started experiment. Now we have a social initiative by which we have started the industry, and we are 50 youth, they have got the employment, and they are purchasing the amino acid, the hairs with 50 rupees per kg. Now the problem is that the multinational company amino acid rate is 560 rupees per liter. And in my area, I giving that amino acid to the farmers with 40 rupees per liter. 2000 acre I just give them. Now the problem is that the plant is established. So conversion of hairs into the amino acid is a great thing, because as far as the people who don't know about the agriculture, amino acid is very important. Now we are doing one thing. I am doing all this experiment. I have got all evidence of it. I am not talking about only about the speech.
We believe you.
So we are making the organic fertilizer from this pressed mud from sugar factory, and we are adding spent wash in it. Now I suggest them that you add amino acid in it. By adding macronutrients and amino acid to this organic manual, it giving good results. Now, for example, 10 days before I was with Prime Minister, and he was telling me, Nitinji, you find out 2 good schemes, which I want to suggest you. You just work on it. One of the scheme he was telling me that about vermiculture. The lot of bio waste is available in the village area, and by a simple system, we can get this vermiculture fertilizer, organic fertilizer. Now in Indian scenario, we are giving subsidy for 80,000 crores for chemical fertilizer. It's really, and actually because of chemical fertilizer, we are facing lot of problems. Now organic farming is the future. So by manufacturing that vermiculture fertilizer, organic fertilizer, adding into this amino acid and micronutrients, it increases the NPK value of that fertilizer, and which is very useful for organic farming. So the people are doing it now. So what my feeling is, And the second scheme the Prime Minister suggested me about this honey. If we collect honey everywhere in village or in a forest everywhere, it increased the production by 1.5 times. That is to be experimentally proved. So what Pradhan Mantri was advising me, that we can make a brand name of honey and we can sell it to through the world. It gives employment to the lot of poor people in the rural area. So my feeling is there are things are now available. In our IRC in Srinagar, 15 days before, they have completed the experiment using of plastic, waste plastic, in adding into bitumen for road construction. So now the things are moving, and now I am as a minister in our government, we are thinking that if we can give this some incentives for this type of project, then it can be very useful for the country. It creates more employment potential. In Ganga, there are 70 municipal corporations are there, and some 7-8 big cities are there. Now already we have taken a decision that recycling of water, we can recycle that water and that we can use it again for industry. Now because of that we can stop the pollution. Now I am from Mumbai, and it's very bad for Mumbaikar that we are taking all this water to the corporation drainage, and corporation drainage is going to the sea. So in BPT and JNPT, both port, I ordered them. I asked one thing to the chairman, where is your sewage water is going? Is it going to sea? No sir, not going to sea. Then where is it going? Sir, we are sending it to the corporation drainage system. Well, where the corporation drainage is going, it is going to the sea, no, nothing doing. You should immediately start the recycling of water, and not a single drop of water you should send to the sea. So now these are the decisions in smart city, the way in which we are preparing the project report. It is actually already it is on the basis of this cleanness and the waste management, solid waste management and liquid waste management. And I feel that now it is economically viable. The making power from the biomass or waste is not economically viable because the power situation is not good. But as comparison with the price of petrol and diesel, if you can convert this bio waste into the biodigester, by which you can get this methane. I am selling CO2 of 20 lakhs rupees per month. I experience in it. Okay. And making 18,000 kg of bio CNG every day now. So again I will tell you, unfortunately, we make the pellet from biomass, that cotton straw. It's with me in my house in Delhi. I will show you that system. The IIT students in Pune, they just identify a system by which cotton waste, wheat waste, any type of biomass, they are making the pellets. And that pellets are using for just like the flame, like the gas. We get the gas with the 40% the price of it. And we have made more than 1,000 gas stores and giving to the restaurants, hotels in Nagpur area. And they are using it and they are saving money. So it can be alternative for the gas. The commercial gas rate at this rate, it is just 40% of the cost. I will show to my house in Delhi. We have got that stove and that pellet is available with me. Now in Vidarbha and everywhere in the country, the cotton straw, they are just burned. But in place of burning now, they are making the pellets. The rice straw, wheat straw, cotton straw, and all agro waste. Even you can segregate plastic from the municipal waste and adding into it and making the pellets from it. That pellets can be alternative for the gas, generating power, having the caloric value of something 4,800, more than that. So they can give an option for gas. Okay. So there are a lot of things are going on. Our government is really very serious about it. The process is started. We have a fixed vision about it. We have a lot of programs, and some programs are executed by some different departments. I am just telling you one example. There was a big conference in Madhya Pradesh in Bhopal related with the investment in bamboo. And now we are going to use our wasteland and making the bamboo trees there, and bamboo can be used for every time, for the cloth, for the furniture, for achar, and many of the use of bamboo. In China, the 50% employment, 50 lakhs of the people, they are getting employment from bamboo. So now the Madhya Pradesh government has officially organized that big function there for this investment in bamboo. But I know it because I am last 10 years I am working in all this field.
Okay.
and practically. So the government is doing it, we are making the experiments, we are creating more jobs, and it can be a good example to be an ideal path for eradication of poverty.
Okay, eradication of poverty, and I'm sure there are people in the audience.
It was, again, I will tell you because he is here, our mayor from
Mayor Saab.
Banaras, yes. In Ganga, the NIRI has taken, it's a technology, and I was with NIRI, I was making the follow-up with Uma Bharti ji. NIRI has finalized the technology without using power. The 6,500 villages across Ganga, now the NIRI is using that technology that without using power, they can make that water purify, and that water can be go to the garden, every village. There will be one big ground for playground and one for garden, and that water can be used. So we can save the pollution of Ganga. At the same time, already Uma Bharti ji in our government has taken a great decision. You just take it interview for only for Ganga. Now they have going on tender using the best technology and best practice in the world, by which they are going to save Ganga by recycling of water from Allahabad and Kanpur, because the this leather factories and other thing, lot of pollution is there. So already the work is started. This is a decision taken by our government.
Nitinji, one will completely appreciate the fact that this government is taking decisions at a rapid pace and I think in a very transparent manner. That's very noted. But what people repeatedly ask is about execution and effective delivery. 1 year of your current tenure is over. Do you sense a bit of a distancing with the people who feel that not enough is happening on the ground?
Yeah, just to...
it's a one problem is there. It is a... We are not communicating properly, that may be a problem. Now I was in Haldia 8 days before. The first time in India, because of this import of edible oil, palm oil, in 6 or 7 refineries everywhere in the port. And from that 8 months before, when I was in Calcutta and Haldia, I said, order them that you make it a biodiesel from it. Now the Imami company is making biodiesel in Haldia with the 46 rupees per liter. And we are using for railway and for trucks and everything, the biodiesel is using in Haldia. There is a great, already I have, 10 days before I inaugurated that.
Okay.
So it's a great achievement. The problem is that, I'm not blaming you particularly, but the media has no time to discuss all these developmental issues.
No, we are in fact.
I appreciate. So I'm not talking about you, but the majority media, their agenda and their interests are totally different. Neither they are interested talking on this technology and innovations and entrepreneurship, conversion of waste into wealth. They have their own agenda and no one has time. I am very thankful to you, Mr. Manoj, and particularly you, because you are giving, this is a subject of my heart. I am working it from last 10 years, and my feeling is politics is an instrument of socio-economic reform, and I am giving employment to 15,000 youth, and the Delhi media people call me as an industrialist, as a businessman. I am not a businessman, neither I am an industrialist. I am working in a rural area to creating more employment potential for the poor youth of this area, and for environment I am working. I am making this experiment for that. I am encouraging the people. I am working in bamboo and handloom and handicrafts and biogas, bioenergy, biodiesel, ethanol and all the waste management. It is for the socio-economic transformation of the society and the development of the country. But problem is that my experience is, don't take it in another way, the media has no time to discuss all these important issues. I am really thankful for you that you are taking the initiative for that. हमारी गवर्नमेंट दो बातों पर काम कर रही है. एक, रोजगार की निर्मिति कैसे करें. देखो मैं आपको छोटी सी बात बताऊँ, सोशलिज्म, कम्युनिज्म एंड कैपिटलिज्म, ये तीनों विचारों के साथ पूरी दुनिया में परिणाम सामने आए.
The sense in this room over the day has been that the thoughts are very noble from the government, the policies are the right sort of policies, but where is the money going to come from? Because there are billions and billions of dollars of announcements that are being made, yet India has interest rates that are one of the highest in the world. And so the question is, there is this disconnect. So how are we going to get
You have a very important question. But with a humble request, I will request you that I am a person that no journalist can ask me anything about my announcement. I am 101% I am making it. Now I am telling you. In my own department, I have a budget of 42,000 crores. So budget is ready. Then we have a toll collection of 7,000 crores. So if I securitize 7,000 crores to the any banker, I will get more than 1 lakh crore, 1,20,000 crore. Then next time, which I need your help, we are making a conference, 111 projects which are completed on EPC route, we are going to sell it, securitize that. We will get 1,20,000 crores. Then the government has given us the permission for raising 70,000 crores of capital for tax exemption bond. And the most important thing is I am in contact with the different countries and insurance funds. Some of the countries offer me the loan with 2 lakh crores of loan with 0.5%. But the problem is hedging and other thing, I am working on it. So now I have no problem.
So you just give, if I were to add accurately, you gave us a number of around 5 lakh crore if you were to put all of this together.
It's not my declaration. The whatever the stuck-up project, the cost of 3,80,000 crore, out of which 95% project had been really clear. The media is here. They can go to every project, and if suppose any my argument is false, they can make me, expose me. So now the all projects are clear. The second thing is, regarding the 1 lakh crores of project I signed it. Now I am telling you the formula. In Mumbai JNPT, we have just received the tender of 4,000 crores for making the concrete road, 8-lane concrete road from JNPT to Panvel. Now we have the ICICI Bank sanctioned 4,000 crore for that. My chairman is the income tax commissioner. So I just asked him, why you are taking loan in rupees? It's a 12 rupees, 12% interest. He said, we are taking loan from ICICI Bank with in rupees with 12%. Why are you taking in rupees? You take in dollar. Because my turnover in ports and shipping corporation is 4,000 crores in dollar. So now I am making an instrument that my all foreign exchange will be deposited in one account, and at least I can raise now 1 lakh crores of loan in dollar, which I will get 2 to 2.5%. So today I just phoned to the chairman of ICICI Bank and said, can you give me a loan in dollar? But no problem. What will be your interest? Well, she was telling me, Chanda Gojati, that it will be LIBOR plus 3%. Well, what is 3%? What do you expect? Well, make it 0.5%, 0.5% for that, LIBOR plus. Well, I am ready for it. Now we are taking loan in dollar. So these are the innovations our government is doing.
I'd like to bring it back to a topic in terms of foreign investors and technology and know-how. And you've been to a number of countries whilst you've been the minister. A few weeks ago, the Dutch Prime Minister was here, and there was a major reach out from the Dutch and the European Union in terms of the Clean Ganga campaign. A lot of European companies have technologies, they have know-how, they have skills, which can be implemented. Yet in one of the panel discussions, somebody raised a very pertinent point. Yes, the West may have these technologies, but they're appropriate to the West. And the price point is not the price point that India can afford. So whilst there's this line of very enthusiastic foreign companies, what is your advice to them? How can they do business in India effectively?
Actually, frankly speaking, on Ganga, total area is from Varanasi to Haldia is 1,620 kilometers. And the project is of 4,200 crores. World Bank has already sanctioned the loan. Already they have given us money to it. We are making multimodal hub in Varanasi, in Haldia, and Sahibganj in Jharkhand. The already land acquisition process is very fast. In due course of time, we will start it. Our idea is to making the 1 year, full year draft in Ganga of 3 meters. And now we are designing the barges in a way by which the same barges who is taking the capacity of 2,000 ton that can take 2,500. We want to change the fuel. We want to use LNG as a fuel as far as the pollution is concerned. And we are not going to construct anywhere barrages. So the lot of world consultants from all the countries, they are offering us the different solution for that. And World Bank is coordinating for that. So even in the tender from Uma Bharati's department, it is a global tender for consultants. So whatever the good companies, those who are capable, having the appropriate technology, they can come as a consultant. There is no problem about it. So we are welcoming all the good technology in the world for that. Because particularly the European countries, they have experience about it. So there is no problem, we will definitely encourage them.
But what about the cost issue? Because in the morning, this was a point that was raised by the Swedish delegate here, Minister Javadekar responded by the point that, you know, perhaps if you're coming to India, we are welcoming you, but you need to have an appropriate cost, more affordable cost for India.
You know, suppose if you have to manufacture one bus like Volvo or Scania in Sweden, their cost is very high. But they're using the same technology and same way they can make the bus, manufacture that bus in India. Now I was inaugurate one big plant of Scania near Bangalore. So the cost is reduced. Just to taking an example of Maruti Suzuki. Once upon a time there was a opposition for Maruti Suzuki. But now Maruti Suzuki are now exporting the car to the different countries. So in Indian scenario, the cost of technology is high because it is from the abroad. So we need consultant and technology consultant. But on the basis of that, if they can start manufacturing in here India and they can develop their own vendor, their cost will be reduced and they will be more competitive as per the market is concerned. So my best solution is, there may be a technology from abroad, but with their technology, if they can manufacturing here, they can reduce the cost and even they can export from India to the different part of the world. So make in India and made in India is a very good solution. So I will request all the investors from abroad that come with your great technology, take the participate in this Make in India and Made in India campaign, start the manufacturing here with Indian joint venture partner and make it here. It will start a good export to you for the world market because of your competitiveness. At the same time, you will get good market in India.